What is up, guys? It's Brillymister here and welcome to today's video. If you do enjoy the video, then don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment and subscribe, and hit all the links up down below to Twitch and Discord. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, and welcome to my loot from 10 hours of Krill or Zami God Wars Dungeon 1. Before we get into the video and the breakdown on all the loot and everything like that, I want to once again give a shout out to my clan chat, the Casual IM. If you're an Iron Man or even a main account, just want to come chill in there and chat in game, then it's the ideal place to come chill. Look forward to seeing you guys in there. Anyway, let's get into the video. So as you can see, I've got on me now my gear setup that I've used for my 10 hours of doing Krill. I haven't got the right action bar actually. This is the action bar, I used that one there. Yeah, nice AFK action bar. Once again, you can see, like with the Armadillo video, I didn't really want to buy anything specifically to do 10 hours of this, so I just kind of went with what I have in the bank. So I have got some mad weird mismatch of armour. I did have Cinderbanes for the first half of it, but I managed to, there was a bit of a mishap with my Cinderbanes, so I've got Celestial hand wraps on. Then you've got Blast Fusion Boots, Ring of Vigour, although I've got the Relic for the Luck of the Dwarves, so if you don't have the Luck of the Dwarves Relic, then I guess wear a Luck of the Dwarves or some sort of Luck Ring, just to give you a bit more damage, a bit more luck. Got my Rune Pouch, didn't really ever bother with the Vuln runes, it's just the runes I had in there. I just used Air, Wave or Surge or whatever it is. Is it Air Surge? But the Air spell, but if you're a lower level you want to use the Fire spells just for that bit of extra accuracy, but I had pretty much 100% accuracy anyway. Virtus Mask, and then I've got a combination of Virtus and Anima Core, just because it gave me a decent combo of perks, and has the Dragon Slayer on and Scavenger, just so I get some extra components. And then I got Impatient and Crackling on my robe legs. I use Staff as Lisky, but you know, you could use pretty much anything down to a Chaotic Staff and you'd be pretty much fine. Like, it was completely AFK. Like, all I had to do was click every now and then to re-overload and pick up bits of loot I wanted, which would probably be represented in the kill rate. Like, I'm sure if you like fully sweated this and didn't AFK it, you could probably get a much higher kill rate. As for my inventory, I got Supreme Overload salves in there. You could just use like a normal overload and a prayer renewal or an anti-poison potion, but I had the salves in my bank. I didn't want to waste my Elder Overload salves, so I just used Supreme salves, which is probably still a bit of a waste for this, but I was too lazy to take anti-poisons and all that separately, so I just took them. I did most of this on the Penance Aura, so most of the time I'd only use like 2 of the Store Flasks that I took with me, but I took them with me for the couple of hours, which I didn't do on Penance, and that was enough. I didn't bother using my damage boosting prayer, I literally just put Soul Split on and didn't activate any of my tier 99 prayers. A couple of sharks, which I don't think I needed the entire time I was there. Note paper to note stuff, and then the Spring Freener, which broke down any of the rune drops or anything like that. And then the Excalibur, which I did pop off a couple of times, and a Steel Titan. I imagine a Ripper Demon would probably be better, like it does do more damage, but I'm a cheapskate, so we used a Steel Titan. So in my inventory here is all of the loot that I got from my 10 hours of doing Krill. It's worth noting that the cost of the instance is already taken out of the money stack, so apart from the first hour where I had to obviously take 200k because there was nothing in the coin stack, every hour's 200k deduction came out of the coin pouch, so I've already taken basically the 2 mil has been removed from that, so the actual loot was 2 mil more than that, and it also includes all of the rune stuff which got broken down by the Spring Cleaner as well. So the actual coins was less, but then the Spring Cleaner topped it up, and then the money for the instance has been taken out of it. There's also a few things that I didn't bother looting due to their low value. So the Zami Brews and the Superstores, they didn't come to much value. In fact, when I looked at my rune metrics, it was like 300k in total over the whole time, so I didn't bother looting them at all. I did miss a couple of lance times according to my rune metrics. I missed 20 lance times at some point from AFKing a little bit too hard, and also I've included the loot from the minions as well. So I only got from Krill himself just over, let's have a look, check where it was now, 100 Winer Zamis. However, when you include all the ones from the minions, it added up to 808, which is an absolute killing. So I'm including that because, you know, the minions are part of the boss, like you pretty much have to kill them. I also got really lucky, I think, with the amount of drops I got, but again, I got quite a lot of like the cheap ones. I got 3 Wards of Subjugation at like 1.3 mil each. All I can say is I didn't get a Steam Battle Staff, so happy days on avoiding that one. And I also got the pet in the 10 hours as well, which is awesome. So I'm just personally lacking the hilt now for the title, which is awesome. So I'm going to probably go back and complete that at some point maybe. But yeah, I got a decent amount of drops there, and we'll chuck it all into the price checker now and see what it's all worth. So into the price checker, that is 64.5 mil in pure loot, which is absolutely awesome. For the 10 hours, so 6.4 mil in loot an hour. Obviously the profit's going to work out a little bit differently. So a big chunk of the money came from the big expensive bits of the subjugation I got there. So the garbs and the gowns, the top and the bottom, they came in 5.5 mil and 6.4 mil. At the time I got these, they were actually a lot more than that. So when I look at my metrics, it tells you like the time or the average, the GP price when you got it, and it says that the garbs were 7.8 mil and the gowns were 6.9 mil. So I've lost a couple of mil over the time doing this, and I only did this like 10 days ago. So yeah, lost a few mil there. Also worth noting that the super strengths and that have crashed a little bit as well, but not a massive amount, so it's still good money. I'm guessing these are crashing now. People are starting to finish off getting their perks upgraded, so there's not that hype around all the new perks coming out from archaeology anymore. I got 5 Godsword shards too. None of those actually came from the boss, they all came from minions, which is pretty good because I think they're rare from the boss anyway. And look at that, 12 mil in Wine Azamis. Like, they're definitely worth looting. 800 Wine Azamis. Yeah, and I think they were higher as well because it was close to double XP weekend, but not by a noticeable amount. And the Infernal Ashes I thought was going to add up more than that. I thought they were a really good drop, and like every time I saw them I got excited. But no, they're 2k each. It was 400k in total. I got a lot more Landslime seeds and Orclite stone spirits as well, but I didn't loot them every single time. So yeah, 64.5 mil, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to go and break that down now, work out how that works out, and then we'll compare it to all of the other bosses that I've done so far. So once we now get on to the breakdown, you can see I got 594 kills in the 10 hours, which is 59 kills an hour. It's slightly higher than when I went to Armadillo or Kriara. It was around 520 then, so it's a little bit faster kill speed, but not a significant amount. The total loot, as you've just seen, was 64.5 mil, which works out 6.4 mil an hour in just pure raw loot, and comes out as 108.5k loot per kill average. Although it's worth noting that a chunk of that loot comes from the minions, it's not all from Crow himself. In fact, I got 12 mil just in the Wines of Zami, which predominantly came from the minions. So put the cost down as 1.2 mil per hour. That includes my overload cost, a little bit of the prayer renewals, which is pretty minimal, the 200k cost to enter the instance, and I put 1 mil in as well roughly for the insane amount of divine charge cost that is at the moment. They're still like 120 to 130k an hour, so anyone making them, you're probably making bank still, good for you. So that brings the profit down to 5.2 mil an hour, which is actually still pretty good for something that is like completely AFK other than re-overloading and picking up your drops. It's also pretty good XP if you need mage or anything XP like that. It's about 400 to 450k mage XP an hour, which is quite nice whilst making 5 mil pretty AFK. It's also good if you haven't done the log that it's nice and profitable, and you're not just going to go there to complete the log and make barely any money. You'll actually make a decent amount. In fact, I've still got to go back there because unfortunately I didn't get the hilt in this 10 hours, which sucks, but I will be going back and I will finish that. So now when I get onto the comparison with all the other bosses that I've done, you can see that it compares pretty well against Kriara. It's about 1 mil an hour less, but then it also beats QBD and Corp by about 1 mil an hour, although at the time when I did Corp and QBD I would imagine they're probably better. Like the hype around the new perks at the moment, it's got the price is still a bit inflated from Kriara and Krill. I do expect them to come down a bit more over time. I imagine if I'd done Krill when I did Kriara, it would have been pretty similar in GP per hour. So it actually beats out most of the like comparable or lower level bosses. It's only really properly beaten out by Nex, Hellweir, and by the Magister, all of which are a lot higher tier bosses, and you require more to do them. They're a lot less AFK and you'd expect them to be better. I would almost include Vindicta as well in this category, as it theoretically should be a lot better GP than this. I just got very, very unlucky and didn't get a single drop in the 10 hours that I was there, which kind of sucks. Like, I would expect it to be higher. Then when you get onto Elite Dungeons free, the money there, again, and the same with ED2, will probably average out higher if you did it the entire time until you got a drop. It's just that if you don't, I didn't get a drop, so I didn't get the crossbow piece, or I didn't get a codex in that 10-hour period. Therefore, the actual money that I've got is basically just from like the trash mobs and like a little bit from each boss, which is not a massive amount, which is why the GP per hours there are a lot lower. But if I'd say done it until I got a crossbow piece or say a codex from ED2, I'm sure it would have dragged the average GP per hour up to being pretty decent, because it would have been like a 200 to 300 mil drop in one go, which would have been absolutely awesome. But bearing all that in mind, Krill is a pretty good boss for GP at the moment, considering how easy and AFKable it is. And if you haven't got your Krill log done, then now is definitely a good time to do it, because you're going to make more money now than if you probably do it in a few months' time when the GP per hour's dropped a bit. Thank you very much for watching. Really hope you did enjoy this loot from video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Twitch. And also there is a link to the Discord server as well in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Until next time, see ya.